the mockery of mankind. The grand halls of the Galactic Council, the air shimmered with pride and arrogance. Thousands of alien delegates sat in rows, their voices echoing across the chamber. Some laughed loudly, others hissed with cruel amusement. All of them shared one common thought, that humanity was nothing but a fragile species. "They are weak," sneered a reptilian general with scales shining under the lights. "Their world is small, their technology is young. They fight with sticks compared to our plasma cannons. They are nothing more than children lost among the stars." A chorus of agreement followed. Tall insectoid creatures clattered their mandibles in laughter. Avian diplomats ruffled their wings as they mocked Earth's small fleets. One alien leader even raised a glass of glowing liquid and toasted, "To the fall of mankind, the easiest victory the galaxy will ever see." The laughter grew louder. It echoed like thunder, filling the council with a sense of certainty. To them, Earth was no more than a curious world, filled with emotional beings who barely survived their own history, but, in a corner of the chamber, one young alien officer remained silent. His name was Kale, from a race that valued caution more than pride. His large golden eyes studied the council as unease grew inside him. "You are making a mistake," he said softly. His voice trembled, but his words carried a weight. "Humans are not what you think they are. They should not be underestimated." The chamber fell quiet for a moment, then burst into cruel laughter again. An elder alien with long tendrils sneered, "Do you suggest these fragile creatures could harm us? They are emotional, chaotic, and short-lived. They lack discipline, they lack order, they lack strength." Kyle swallowed, but his voice did not break. "They may lack what we value, but they have something else. I studied their history. They survived wars that destroyed empires. They rebuilt cities after fire and disaster. They endured famine, plague, and endless conflict. Yet they rise again every time. They have a spirit I cannot explain, and if you push them too far, they will fight back with a fury unlike any we have seen." The elder laughed again. "Nonsense, their ships are few, their weapons outdated. If they try to resist, their world will burn within a day." The chamber cheered in agreement. The mocking returned, louder and crueler. Kale lowered his head, knowing his warning had fallen on deaf ears. Meanwhile, in the cold silence of space, a human scout ship drifted near the borders of alien-controlled territory. The ship was small, almost insignificant compared to the massive alien cruisers. When the alien patrol intercepted it, they did not even bother to raise shields. "Human vessel." The alien commander's voice crackled over the comms. "You are trespassing in sovereign space. Power down your engines and prepare to be boarded. Resistance is useless." Inside the scout ship, Captain Elias Kane sat in his chair. His hands rested calmly on the console. His eyes burned with quiet defiance. Around him, his crew tensed, but no one showed fear. They all knew this moment would come. The aliens boarded quickly, dragging the humans into their warship. They expected tears, begging fear, but they were met with silence. Captain Kane stood tall, even as alien guards shoved him forward. The alien commander sneered, "Pathetic, you humans are nothing. Your planet will soon kneel before the council. Your species will be forgotten." For the first time, Kane spoke. His voice was calm, almost too calm. "You still haven't seen our strength." The alien commander laughed in his face. "Strength? Your ships are toys. Your armies are scattered tribes. What strength do you speak of?" Kane leaned closer, his eyes, cold and unshaken, locked on the commander's. "The strength you mock is already moving. The storm you laugh at is already here. When it arrives, the stars themselves will tremble." The alien froze, unease crawling into his chest, but his pride forced him to laugh again. He ordered the humans thrown into a cell, back in the council chamber. News of the captured human ship spread quickly. The aliens cheered as if the war was already won. They raised banners and celebrated the weakness of Earth. But Kale, still watching silently, felt a chill in his bones. The human captain's words echoed in his mind like a warning. "You still haven't seen our strength?" He looked out the great window of the chamber, where stars stretched endlessly. somewhere in that dark ocean, he felt it. A presence building, growing, waiting. The council laughed, but Kale's heart whispered something else. Something terrifying. The humans are preparing, and when they reveal their true power, the galaxy will never laugh again. Shadows of Earth's past. The galaxy celebrated too soon. The capture of one small human scout ship became a symbol of victory for the alien council. In their eyes, it proved that mankind was weak, fragile, and ready to kneel. But while they laughed, while they mocked, Earth remained silent. Silence was never a sign of weakness. It was the calm before the storm. Far away under the shadow of Earth's moon, vast hidden stations worked in secret. Factories burned bright in darkness, and dry docks stretched like metallic forests. There, thousands of engineers and soldiers moved with silent determination. Their voices carried one truth: the galaxy had underestimated them. Humanity had been underestimated before, many times in their own history. Empires had tried to crush them. Disasters had tried to erase them. Yet humanity survived. They rebuilt from ashes. They endured pain. They turned suffering into strength. Deep, under the ice of Europa, in hidden bases across Mars, and in orbital rings circling Earth, the true face of humanity's might was taking form. Warships unlike anything the galaxy had seen before were being assembled in silence. Their steel frames glowed under welding fire. Their engines pulsed, with the heartbeats of titans, back on the alien council's homeworld. Kyle, the young officer, searched the archives in secret. His instincts whispered that the humans were not idle. He uncovered fragments of history the council had ignored. He read of Earth's ancient wars, battles where humans fought not for conquest but survival. They had faced extinction from nature itself: asteroids, plagues, famines, frozen winters, and burning suns. Yet each time, humanity rose again, stronger than before. They were shaped by struggle, forged by chaos, born on what alien scholars called a death world. Kale's eyes widened as he studied further. He saw images of human soldiers standing in ruined cities, refusing to surrender. He read testimonies of explorers who crossed oceans with nothing but wood and faith. He saw the scars of 2 world wars, where millions perished, but the human spirit refused to break. "They do not quit," Kyle whispered. To himself, they never quit. Meanwhile, Captain Elias Kane, still imprisoned in the alien warship, sat quietly in the cell. His crew looked to him for hope. He gave no speeches, no promises, only one steady look. His eyes carried the weight of something his captors could not understand: patience. The alien commander visited often, mocking him. "Your planet is already trembling, human. Soon your leaders will bow, your fleets will burn, and your people will serve us as laborers in the stars." Kane only smiled faintly. "You think you've seen humanity? You've only seen our shadow," the alien commander hissed. "You are broken already." But Kane's calm silence felt heavier than any threat. It was the silence of a predator waiting to strike. Back on Earth, leaders of every nation had united. Old conflicts were forgotten. Borders meant nothing now. Humanity stood as one. For the first time in history, all governments spoke with a single voice. A general stood before a massive fleet under construction. His words were simple yet carried across thousands of soldiers and workers. "The galaxy thinks we are weak, fragile, easy to crush. Let them believe it. When the time comes, we will show them the truth. We are children of Earth, born from storms, raised in fire and tempered by suffering. We will not kneel, we will not break. And when our armada rises, the stars will carry our roar." The soldiers roared back, their voices shaking the hangars. Their echoes spread across every hidden base, across every shipyard, across every outpost in the solar system. But in the council chambers of the galaxy, the aliens still laughed. They received reports of Earth's silence and mistook it for fear. They did not know silence was the mask humanity wore before war. Kale tried again to warn them. "You celebrate too soon. These humans are not weaklings. Their silence means preparation, not surrender." The council silenced him with anger. "Enough, Kale. You let fear cloud your mind. These creatures will fall like dust under our fleets. Kale bowed, but inside he felt a storm growing. His instincts screamed louder than ever. Something was coming. That night, as Kale gazed upon the stars from his quarters, he saw Earth's blue light through a telescope. It looked small, fragile, vulnerable. Yet deep inside he felt that the small blue world was not trembling in fear. It was waiting. And in that waiting, in that silence, the galaxy's greatest mistake was being written. For humanity's shadow was about to rise, and when it did, it would darken the stars themselves. The gathering storm. In the far edges of the solar system, where sunlight was weak and shadows stretched long, massive shapes drifted in silence. They looked like asteroids to anyone passing by. But inside those hollow giants, humanity's armada was being born deep within. Hangars lit up with fire and thunder. Engineers worked without rest. Soldiers trained in zero gravity. Pilots memorized flight paths and war codes. Every breath they took carried one promise: never again would mankind be mocked. Humanity's plan was simple but ruthless. They would not reveal their strength until the last possible moment, until the enemy stood at their doorstep, confident of victory. Only then would Earth's storm break open. Across the galaxy, alien fleets gathered near Earth. Their commanders were careless. They boasted loudly. They carried banners of conquest. To them, this was not war. This was a hunt, and humanity was prey. The alien leader of the fleet, Admiral Vorath, laughed as reports came in. Earth is quiet. No mobilization, no resistance. They are already broken. He raised his claws in triumph before his officers. Tomorrow we invade their homeworld. By this time next week, their sun will rise over a conquered planet. But in secret, Kyle, the young alien officer who doubted the council, read stolen transmissions. He noticed faint signals slipping. Through the void, coded messages from human outposts. He pieced them together. His blood turned cold. They are moving fleets, Kyle whispered, staring at the hologram. The map lit up with human activity hidden in the dark. This is no surrender. This is a trap. Yet when he tried to warn the council again, they silenced him. Do not spread fear. The humans are too weak to resist. They are insects with fire in their hands. They cannot challenge us. Kale clenched his fists. His mind repeated the human captain's words, "You still haven't seen our strength." Far from the council's chambers, in the hidden stations near Saturn, the first human warship came alive. Its hull gleamed black, coated with stealth alloys. Its cannons glowed faintly. Engines pulsed like the heart of a predator. Captain Elias Kane, freed in a daring rescue by Earth's covert forces, now stood at the bridge of the warship Eclipse. His voice was calm as he addressed his crew. The galaxy thinks we are weak. They believe this will be an easy war. Let us remind them who we are. Let us remind them what it means to be human. His crew answered with steady eyes and firm hands. They knew the risks. They knew the galaxy outnumbered them, but they also knew the truth. Humans had always fought against impossible odds, and they had always survived. The first wave of ships left their hidden bases, moving silently like predators in the dark. Dozens, then hundreds, then thousands. Their formation spread wide, covering the void like a steel storm. Alien scouts noticed unusual movement near the asteroid belt. At first they dismissed it, but when they drew closer they froze in disbelief. On their scanners, impossible numbers lit up. Warships of human design, larger than anything on record. Engines humming with a terrifying new energy. Cannons glowing like suns waiting to fire. The alien scouts transmitted in panic. This cannot be. This is not possible, humans. Humans have built an armada. But before the message was fully received, the human fleet activated jammers. Silence fell. Silence more terrifying than any roar. On the flagship Eclipse, Captain Kane looked out at the stars, his face calm, his eyes hard. He whispered, "Let them laugh one last time. The storm is here." Back at the alien fleet, Admiral Vorath received only fragments of the scout's final signal. He frowned but then shook his head. Impossible. They are bluffing. They are desperate. Humanity cannot match our fleets. Yet in the deep black of space, humanity's storm spread wider. Invisible to alien eyes, thousands of warships moved closer. Kyle sat alone, staring at the Council's star maps, his fear confirmed. He whispered into the darkness, "They will not only resist, they will rise." And in that moment, across the cold silence of the void, the galaxy's fate shifted. The storm had gathered. The first lightning was about to strike. The clash of armadas. The alien fleet hung above Earth like a shadow. Thousands of warships formed a wall of steel and firepower. Their banners glowed with arrogance, their commanders laughed as they prepared for what they thought would be a short war. On the alien flagship, Admiral Vorath raised his clawed hand. "Send the message, demand their surrender, give them one chance to kneel before us." A powerful signal blasted toward Earth. The aliens broadcast across every channel. Their voice boomed across the planet. "Humans of Earth, you are surrounded, your fleets are weak, your weapons are outdated, submit now or watch your world burn." The world listened. Cities fell silent. Families held their breath. Even children stared at the skies, but Earth gave no reply. Admiral Vorath smirked. "They tremble. They dare not speak. Prepare the fire order." Then, suddenly, the silence of space cracked. From the darkness behind Saturn, from the cold shadows of the asteroid belt, from hidden bases across the solar system, they came, first. Dozens, then hundreds, then thousands. Human warships, colossal and unyielding, emerged in formation. Their engines roared like thunder. Their cannons glowed red with the heat of fury. One after another, more ships appeared until the sky itself seemed filled with steel and fire. The alien fleet froze. Their scanners screamed with impossible numbers. Admiral Vorath's eyes widened. "No, this cannot be." On the bridge of the human flagship Eclipse, Captain Elias Kane stood tall. His voice was steady, calm, powerful. "They mocked us, they laughed at us. Now let them witness the truth. For Earth, for humanity, fire, in an instant." The void erupted. Human cannons unleashed rivers of light. Torpedoes streaked across the stars. Laser batteries cut through alien shields like fire through paper. Entire cruisers exploded before they could even react. The aliens scrambled, their pride collapsing into panic. "Shields up, fire everything," Vorath screamed. But their weapons clashed against human armor and were absorbed by new defensive systems they had never seen before. Everywhere, alien ships burst apart in violent fireballs. Their debris scattered into the void. Their screams echoed through open comms, yet the humans pressed forward. Not a single warship broke formation. Their attack was relentless, precise, merciless. On the Alien Council's homeworld, Kyle watched the battle feed in stunned silence. His heart pounded. The council members gasped in disbelief. The chamber that once rang with laughter now fell into fearful silence. "They are not prey," Kyle whispered. "They are predators." Back at the front lines, alien fleets tried to regroup. Thousands of ships turned their guns on the Eclipse. The void lit up with energy beams and plasma storms. The human flagship shook. Alarms screamed. But Kane stood unshaken. "Hold the line," he ordered. "Return fire." The human armada unleashed another devastating wave. Hundreds of alien vessels shattered in the darkness. Entire battle groups erased in seconds. Admiral Vorath's flagship was struck. Explosions tore through its hull. Flames erupted across its decks. He staggered to the command table, staring at the impossible sight before him. "They were supposed to be weak," he whispered in horror. How did they build this?" Captain Kane's face appeared on the comm screen, calm, cold, and unyielding. "You thought humanity was fragile. You thought we would kneel, but you forgot one truth. We are children of Earth, and Earth does not bow." Then Kane gave the way. "Order. Full assault. Break them." The human fleet surged forward, cutting through the alien lines like fire through dry grass. One by one, alien warships exploded, their commanders screaming in terror. All across Earth, people watched as their skies lit up with the fury of their defenders. Hope replaced fear, pride replaced silence. Humanity stood together as one voice, roaring through the stars. And as the battle raged, something greater than victory began to form. respect. For the first time in galactic history, the Council realized these so-called fragile beings were not weaklings. They were a force, a storm, an armada that shook the stars themselves. When the smoke cleared, the void was littered with burning wrecks, alien fleets shattered, their survivors fleeing in terror. Humanity's warships stood strong, their banners glowing bright. Captain Kane lowered his gaze, his voice firm. "Let the galaxy hear us now. This is only the beginning." The shattered silence. The battle was over. The stars above Earth glowed with wreckage. Alien ships burned in silence, their flames flickering like dying candles in the void. Debris drifted across the black sky, the last remains of an armada that once mocked humanity. Inside the Galactic Council, silence ruled. The same chamber that once rang with laughter and arrogance now echoed with fear. Alien leaders stared at the live feeds of Earth's fleet standing proud. Thousands of human warships filled the void, their engines burning like suns, their banners glowing with the crest of Earth. They destroyed Vorath's entire fleet, one council member whispered. His voice trembled. How is this possible? Their technology was centuries behind ours. Another alien, shaking, whispered the truth Kale had warned them of. It is not their weapons alone. It is their spirit. It is something we cannot measure. Kale stood at the center of the chamber, no longer afraid. His golden eyes burned as he spoke. You all laughed. You all mocked. But I told you, these humans are not weak. They are survivors. They are fighters. They are storms in flesh and blood. The council fell silent again. The weight of his words pressed on every leader. For the first time, they understood what humanity truly was. A force born from suffering, from endless struggle, a predator raised on a death world. Back on the flagship Eclipse, Captain Elias Kane stood on the command deck. His crew cheered quietly, their faces lit with pride. Yet Kane himself remained calm. His voice carried not triumph, but warning. This is not the end. This was only the beginning. He gazed out at the ruined alien fleet, his voice low. They will come again and in greater numbers, but now, they will come with fear. Across Earth, billions of people celebrated. Cities erupted with light. Families looked to the sky with tears of pride. For the first time in history, humanity had faced the galaxy, and the galaxy had faltered. But celebration was not enough. Behind the joy was a deeper realization. This victory had changed everything. Humanity was no longer hidden, no longer underestimated. Now every empire in the stars would see Earth as a threat, a rival, a force to be reckoned with. In the ruins of the alien flagship, survivors sent desperate signals back to their homeworlds, their voices cracked with terror. Do not attack Earth. Do not provoke them. They are not what we thought. They are unstoppable. Those words spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Rebellions whispered them. Empires repeated them. Smugglers carried them in shadowy corridors. Soon every corner of space knew the truth. The humans had risen on the council world. One elder alien collapsed into his seat, his voice weak. We laughed at them, we called them fragile, and now they shake the stars themselves. Kale did not smile. He only whispered, You have awakened something you cannot put back to sleep. Back on the Eclipse, Kane turned to his officers. His final order of the day was quiet, but carried across the ship. Send this message to the galaxy. Humanity does not kneel, humanity does not break, and if they come for us again, we will be ready. The transmission spread across every star system. It was more than a declaration. It was a warning, a promise, a truth carved into the heart of the galaxy, and in the aftermath of the battle, a new silence spread across the stars. A silence not of arrogance but of fear. A silence that whispered a new legend. They laughed at humanity's weakness, until humanity's armada shook the stars. The galaxy would never laugh again.